Have you ever met someone who looked down upon all the things that gives a man pleasure in life? Or a woman? You know what I'm talking about. Drinking with your mates, noisy sex, loud music, racy films. All the things that are a good bit of fun and a few laughs. Well, anyway, mate, no doubt you have come across the type of person who frowns on such behaviour. The type that can't stand anything that keeps us going through the darker times, that reminds us that life is good and well worth living. What would you call these people? When they propose banning drinking, or your favourite film, what would you call them? Well, mate, down under, we call them Wowsers. Australia has always been cursed by Wowsers, mate. Perhaps because we were such a hard country, especially in the early days, and engaged in some hard drinking and some fairly open frolicking around in the hay. In fact, mate, the Wowsers were out in force as soon as we arrived in this fair land. In the 1880s, the Wowsers managed to have barmaids banned. I kid you not, my friend. Barmaids were seen as dangerous sirens, dressed in skimpy outfits and luring the young into the bar where they would ply them with drink. Not much has changed, thank God. Anyway, mate, on paper at least, barmaids were banned in South Australia till 1967. 1967! Luckily though, there was a loophole in the legislation that said those barmaids that already had a job could keep them. So, strangely enough, there must have been quite a few 100-year-old barmaids blessed with eternal youth working in South Australia in the 60s. So, mate, the Wowsers did that. They even tried to ban drinking, like they did in the States. What's more, in 1916, they almost managed to have shouting banned. That's right, mate. They somehow introduced a bill into the Victorian Parliament that, if passed, would have made it illegal to buy a beer that you weren't going to drink yourself. It was only narrowly defeated, mate. Those Wowsers are a pretty powerful bunch when they want to be. Just look at censorship, mate. Thanks to those wily Wowsers, Australia's been one of the most heavily censored democracies in the world. Even the 1960s cartoon strip that became the hit Aussie film The Adventures of Barry Mackenzie was banned because it showed Aussies drinking and generally behaving disgracefully. Imagine that! Who the hell were these Wowsers to tell us that we couldn't enjoy a bloody comic strip like this one? And you know, mate, the worst thing about these Wowsers is that they're generally hypocritical. As the Premier of Western Australia said in 1912, they're more shocked at seeing 2 inches of underskirt than they would be at seeing a mountain of misery. Anyway, mate, I'm sure you can understand my frustration. At least now, next time you see a Wowser in action, you can just say, "Don't be such a bloody Wowser." Of course, mate, they'll deny they're a Wowser, but you know one when you see one.